Hey guys, here's Miss Clemens and Mr. Marshall with another U.S. History Flipped. And this is continuing our Roaring Twenties. This is part 3 where we're going to talk about consumerism, politics, economy, all sorts of different types of stuff. Alright, remember, you guys should have already gone through parts 1 and 2. Pause it as much as you like, skip around, and get all the notes you need in that little charty thing. And here we go. Spinny. Alright, so consumerism, buying stuff. You are the consumer. You go and you consume. You take things and you get them. Belief that personal happiness comes from purchasing material possessions and consumption. So we're going to go out and get jackets and hats and little fur things that this lady's wearing, and cars and refrigerators and all sorts of awesome stuff. We want stuff. And there's a lot of buying. A lot of buying. To the point where it is mass consumption. As you can see from the stacks and stacks of crushed cars that are right here. So mass consumption. Americans had the desire to purchase goods and services in large amounts, and we did. We got all sorts of different things. And this drives business forward. It's also buying all of these different things on credit is what caused the Great Depression, but we're not worried about that right now because we want more stuff. And since we did this, we got installment plans, allowing people to make purchases on credit when they really can't afford them. It's kind of like when you get out of high school, you go into college, you get a credit card, and you just start buying stuff because you're like, hey, I can buy it on credit, it's all good. And then like 6 months later, you're like, oh my god, I have a $3,000 credit card bill. This is scary. People just didn't know how it worked, so they just kept on buying all the things that they could. Why not? Planned obsolescence. Manufacturers created products that would not last. And they did this because if somebody buys something and it lasts forever, they're never going to buy it again. So they want to make sure that people keep on buying things. Why do you think your cell phone battery dies after 2 years? Because cell phone plans renew every 2 years and they want you to get the next phone and the next thing. It's just the way that it goes. It still happens today. And then we have the assembly line, division of labor into individual parts to increase production, build more things, and decrease costs. Ford did this a ton with the Model Ts, which was a car. And increasing production and making it so that they cost less means that more people can buy them, which means that you can have more factories to build more stuff, to make things cheaper, so more people can buy them. And it just keeps on going and going and going. And yeah, the assembly line, awesome thing. Now, buying on margin is really, really risky. It's a stock market thing where you buy stocks that you don't necessarily have money for. So, like, I can buy $10,000 in stocks, but I only need to spend $5,000. That's pretty sweet. But if the stock tanks, I now owe even more money than I would have previously. And a lot of people did not understand how it worked. Nobody expected what would happen because of this. And the effect was the stock market crash, because so many people bought on margin and there were so many things being bought and not enough money going into the system that everything just stopped working, and it just sucked. Things got really, really bad. You have people buying and buying and buying and buying, and it's awesome, we're making tons and tons of money, but nobody's actually putting any money into the system because they're all buying it on margin. And once that was realized, it just and we're like, oh, maybe it'll get better, no, it won't. And it was not good. You had stockbrokers literally jumping out windows. When it's raining people, it's bad. It was a really, really bad time. In terms of politics, there was this oil scandal that happened with Warren G. Harding. It was pretty bad, which was technically called the Teapot Dome scandal. So all these government officials were taking bribes to be like, yeah, sure, go ahead, drill wherever you want, it's fine. But then the public started to realize, and people started reporting on this, and people started realizing that these officials are really corrupt. Like, they should not have been doing this. And the real bad part about it was the distrust. You know, if people don't trust their government, it causes problems all over the place. And that's why this was such a big deal. You know, the same thing happened with Watergate. The same, like, this stuff, it does tend to happen throughout our history. And it just sucks when it does. So that's it for all three different parts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are learning a lot. Make sure that you go backwards and forwards and copy down all the things into your chart and use the stuff for all of the other different activities in the flipped lesson format. Have a good one.